It is my honor and my pleasure to be called upon to introduce the guest lecturer, the convocation lecturer of the 12th convocation of Achievers University. May I, with all sense of humility and honor, introduce the minister who has made the most mark in the lives of Nigerians. I want to believe that his achievements have led to his being invited to serve in the capacity in which he is serving here today. There is no campus in Nigeria that has not felt the impact of his intervention, especially in the area of digital skills training, capacity building, and digital transformation in the country as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, may I respectfully introduce my boss, our leader, our mentor, the first and only African, alive or dead, to be conferred with the Fellowship of the Chartered Institute of Information Security. He is a fellow of the British Computer Society, fellow Nigeria Computer Society, fellow Institute of Information Management, fellow African Institute of International Relations and Diplomacy. He is currently the sitting chairman of World Summit on Information Society at the International Telecommunications Union, ITU, in Geneva, Switzerland. He is a chartered computer scientist. He is a chartered IT expert. He is a chartered cybersecurity professional. Ladies and gentlemen, may I humbly and respectfully introduce Nigeria's Minister of Communications and first ever of Digital Economy, Professor Issa Alli Ibrahim Pantami.
My duty here is to give a brief profile of Professor Issa Alli Ibrahim Pantami. With the permission of the chairman, the Pro-Chancellor, the Vice-Chancellor, may I humbly request our guest lecturer, Professor Issa Alli Ibrahim, to kindly rise and remain standing while the certification. Professor Issa Alli Ibrahim Pantami, the current Honorable Minister for Communication and Digital Economy, born and grew up in Pantami district of Gombe, in Gombe State of Nigeria, on the 28th of October 1972. Issa Alli Ibrahim had his university education at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University and obtained his first degree in computer science in the year 2003. Between 2008 and 2011, Issa Alli Ibrahim obtained MSc Computer Science and Master of Business Administration from the same university. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Issa Alli Ibrahim thereafter proceeded to the prestigious Robert Gordon University in Aberdeen, Scotland, to obtain a doctorate degree in computer information systems. In addition to these degrees, Issa Alli also has certificates in digital transformation from Harvard University, Digital Strategy Certificate from Massachusetts University, another Digital Strategy Certificate from Institute of Management Development in Lausanne, Switzerland, Leadership Certificate from Oxford University, and Management Certificate from the University of Cambridge, United Kingdom. Issa Alli Ibrahim lectured at the Federal University of Technology, Bauchi for over a decade, teaching multimedia, software engineering, software technology, hardware technology, management information system, geographic, to mention very few. He later proceeded to the International University of Medina in Saudi Arabia, where he served as an associate professor and head of technical writing in addition to teaching ICT-related courses. Ladies and gentlemen, Issa Alli Ibrahim is a distinguished professor of cyber security at the University of Technology, Owerri. Due to his key contribution to cybersecurity issues and programs, Professor Issa Alli Ibrahim was awarded the fellowship of the Shattered Institute of Information Security. He is the only African to be so honored till date. Professor Ali has to his credit over 20 publications in reputable international journals, numerous academic conference papers, and several charter contributions to various books on topics ranging from technology, cybersecurity, religion, and peaceful coexistence. Out of the 190 countries in the world, Issa Ali has been to over 40 on ICT and cybersecurity related conferences and activities. Professor Issa Alli Ibrahim has served the Federal Republic of Nigeria in various capacities. These include his service as the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA. On August 21, 2019, ladies and gentlemen, Issa Alli Ibrahim Pantami was sworn in as the Honorable Minister of Communication and Digital Economy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Popularly known as Digital Minister, Professor Issa Alli Ibrahim is a revered and highly respected global IT citizen. In May 2022, he was appointed as the chairman of the World Summit on Information Security, where he also shared the ICT Ministers Forum at the summit in Geneva. I hereby present to you, Pro Chancellor Sir, distinguished guests, to the University Council as well, the University Senate, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Issa Alli Ibrahim, the guest lecturer of the Achievers University's 12th convocation lecture. You welcome, sir. Thank you, sir.
Firstly, I feel really honored to be invited by Achievers University to be here with you for this graduation ceremony lecture or convocation lecture, as we call it in Nigeria. And I am glad that in the next 48 hours, it will be the 15th anniversary of this university. The university was granted a license to operate on the 11th of December 2007. So in the next 2 days, the university will celebrate its 15th anniversary. And I am glad here to present the graduation ceremony lecture and also to serve as the pre-anniversary, 15th anniversary of the university. Furthermore, when I received a letter from the university with the intention of honoring me with a honorary doctoral degree, I was really flabbergasted because I only know the name of the university by name. And the last time I visited Ondo was in 2018 when I represented His Excellency Professor Yemi Oshunbajo, the Vice President of Nigeria, for a state event. However, it is my tradition that I don't usually honor recognition without justification. And I had an engagement with the Pro-Chancellor of the university. Some of the reasons he mentioned to me my achievement as a minister. After my discussion with him, and I appreciated the university, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari directed all the ministers in Nigeria to be evaluated based on their performance and the baseline given to them when we took over on the 21st August 2019. The result came out and it was presented on the 17th and 18th October 2022. And the result clearly showed to me that in all the 8 priority areas given to me as a minister, I got A+ in each and every one. And that gives me the peace of mind to honor and accept the honorary doctoral degree intended to be presented by this respected university, Achievers University. And with all sense of humility is a clear indication, with the endorsement of the Pro-Chancellor and the Vice-Chancellor, that I will be part and parcel, or rather I will be part of the Achievers University family from today. In the 8 priority areas that was presented to me based on our performance in the sector, as I said, we got A+ in each one. And I'm so glad and excited with that. And I always appreciate my colleagues in both the public, private sector and academia that have been supporting us in one way or the other to achieve that result. The 8 priority areas given to me, number 1, is to ensure the increase in broadband penetration in Nigeria. Under that one, based on an independent assessment of our foreign Commonwealth and KPMG in collaboration with the Office of the Secretary of the Federation, I obtained 134% of that one. That was given to me is to ensure 4G penetration in Nigeria. Under 4G penetration in Nigeria, we got 127%. Priority number 3 is also to set policies for government digitalization. That one, we got 99%. Priority number 3, given to me as a minister on behalf of the sector, was to set up policies for the digitalization of government processes. Under that one, we got 99% in the digital economy sector. Priority number 4 was also to ensure we assign national identity to our citizens. Under that one, we obtained 86%. Priority number 5 is to develop national digital economy policy and strategy. Under that one, based on the independent assessment, we obtained 103%. Then the next priority is also to increase revenue generation for government, which is the most difficult one. Revenue generation is difficult. What is easier is revenue spending. Under revenue generation, with all sense of humility, the team I led obtained 594%. Number 7, priority given to us is to partner with the private sector and provide job opportunities for our citizens. Under that one, we obtained 111%. Number 8, the last but not the least, priority given to us was to empower our citizens. Under citizens empowerment, we obtained 137%. Based on that assessment, we have received the performance of the communications and digital economy sector in October 2022 was the best in Nigeria. It is because of this I consider this honorary doctoral degree and also the invitation to present this graduation lecture on Achievers University campus is an endorsement of what FCD, KPMG and others have submitted to His Excellency President Buhari as our own performance with all sense of humility. Furthermore, the topic given to me for this lecture is digital innovation, entrepreneurship, Panacea to unemployment. This topic is very relevant and it's very apt, particularly in Africa and specifically in Nigeria as a country, because the challenge of unemployment and also unemployability, because there is a huge difference between unemployment on one hand and unemployability on the other. Unemployment is a situation where the economy is not able to provide job for citizens that are qualified to do the work and they are looking for it. This is based on the explanation of the International Labour Organization. When the economy of a country fails to provide opportunities for its citizens and they are willing to take up the job, they are seeking for it, and they have the capacity to deliver, then we can call it an unemployment. While unemployability is a situation where the job opportunities are available globally, but the citizens of a country or global citizens do not have the skills that are required to perform the job. Meaning there is a mismatch between what they obtain and also the requirement of the jobs that are available. This is unemployability. I'm not in any way arguing that we have a challenge of unemployment in Nigeria. But what is more worrisome is not unemployment, it's unemployability. That is what is more worrisome, particularly based on my background in science, technology and engineering. If you look at the quality of our graduates, particularly the skills available after their graduation, and you look at the job opportunities available globally, you will strongly agree with me that there is need for self-assessment, where we sit down critically and see that our graduates from university, polytechnics, colleges of education and other higher institutions of learning should be able to get the skills required for them to discharge their responsibility by being employed not only locally but even internationally. The issue of mismatch between what graduates have to offer and also what employers are looking for is a very serious concern for the developing countries, particularly African countries. And this is what brought about the challenge of unemployability rather than unemployment. So the challenge today, I agree, we have unemployed youths, but we must agree that we also have unemployable youth. Why? Because the skills or the quality of training they obtain is not sufficient for them to compete at the international level, except if they put extra effort to obtain other skills that are required, like soft skills, critical thinking, analytical thinking, complex problem solving, creativity, project management, and many more. Without obtaining these skills, then it is difficult for them to compete at the international level. And it is because of this I'm so much excited that the National Universities Commission is in the process of reviewing our curriculum to ensure that our graduates will be able to compete with global graduates anywhere in the world. This is indeed really encouraging. Furthermore, the two components of the topic, I have explained the first one, the issue of unemployment. The two most important components of the topic is digital innovation and number two, digital entrepreneurship. If you say digital innovation and digital entrepreneurship, these are the two prerequisites to digital economy. They are the two necessary ingredients for building an indigenous digital economy. The first one is digital innovation and the second one is digital entrepreneurship. And according to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the best university in the world, for 11 consecutive years, based on the evaluation of US World Ranking, which I happen to be the champion of MIT from 2019 to 2021. That these two are necessary while building digital economy, while trying to provide job opportunities, and while trying to develop economy. They are necessary that we must prioritize digital innovation on one hand and digital entrepreneurship on the other. And we need to ask ourselves, what is digital innovation? Based on the explanation of the World Economic Forum, digital innovation is about the deployment of digital technologies to address an existing problem and provide a solution to it through a creative way. The way you identify a challenge, an existing problem, and you try to come up with a solution to it by being creative. When you are successful, it becomes a digital innovation. So that is what digital innovation is all about. If you look at most of the digital platforms we utilize today, they are part and parcel of digital innovation. Your smartphone is a digital innovation. All the applications you download in Apple Store or in Google Store, they are all part of digital innovation. Amazon platform is a digital innovation. All the digital facilities we deploy, they are part and parcel of digital innovation. While the digital entrepreneurship, prior to that, what is entrepreneurship? As a layman explanation of the International Labor Union, you may wish to say entrepreneurship is self-employment. An entrepreneur is a self-employee. So if self-employer is an entrepreneur, self-employment is what entrepreneurship is all about. When you try to employ yourself, by implication, entrepreneurship is about you are the employer and the employee. You employ yourself to do the work. That is what entrepreneurship is all about. So digital innovation is the deployment of the technologies to solve an existing problem. Look at the problem solved by Uber. It's digital innovation. And the guy who develops Uber becomes a digital entrepreneur. Why? Because he employs himself. And by implication, he employs others. So digital innovation is solving an existing problem, while digital entrepreneurship is being an employer of others after employing yourself. So it is because of this, digital innovation is the foundation, while digital entrepreneurship is being built on digital innovation in order to provide job opportunities for others. Digital innovation provides many opportunities for global citizens to leverage on and provide job opportunities for others, and also to address the challenge of unemployment on one hand and unemployability on the other. For example, according to the World Economic Forum, that the opportunities available in the digital economy sector through digital innovation and entrepreneurship. The value of the opportunities is not far from the entire gross domestic product of the G7 economy. The G7 economy combined, their GDP is not much higher than the opportunities provided by the digital innovation and entrepreneurship. Look at the G7 countries. Who can tell me the G7 countries? Number 1 is the United States of America. Number 2 is Canada. Number 3 is the United Kingdom. Number 4 is Germany. Number 5 is France. Number 6 is Italy. And number 7 is Japan. If you take the GDP of the US only, it's almost 25% of the global GDP. The global GDP is within the range of 100 trillion USD, while the GDP of the US today is within the range of 24.3 trillion USD to around 25.5 trillion USD. So by implication, the opportunities available, if we can leverage on within the digital economy sector through digital innovation on one hand and digital entrepreneurship on the other, will be able to be equated with the economy of the G7. And this is based on the evaluation of the World Economic Forum. In addition, if you look at digital innovation today, based on another report of the World Economic Forum, when it comes to addressing the challenge of unemployment, that based on the report of the World Economic Forum Future of Job Report, that the opportunities available within the digital innovation, particularly in the area of artificial intelligence, robotics, and automation, among others, the opportunities within this will be able to create 133 million new jobs globally. 133 million new jobs globally. And also, according to the World Economic Forum, the opportunities of the digital economy as we have it today will be able to lift this number of citizens from poverty and will be able to provide job opportunities for 133 million unemployed global citizens. If you look at the issue of unemployment on one hand and unemployability on the other, you will discover that both of them are among the major challenges globally. Particularly in a situation where youth do not have any job to partake in. If care is not taken, these youth are going to be misguided by evil people. That is the major challenge. And the issue of unemployment is being increased, particularly from early 2020 to the middle of 2022 because of COVID-19 pandemic. Based on the report of the International Labour Union, around 73 million people became either unemployed or underemployed because of the negative impact of COVID-19 among others. Today, the global percentage of unemployment is not that very bad because it's within the range of 6.5% to around 6.9% based on the report of International Labour Union. It's within that range. However, it was around 5.5 to 5.7 in the previous years before the COVID-19. However, if you look at the unemployment in Africa, because Nigeria is part and parcel of Africa, you will strongly agree with me that it is indeed highly worrisome. According to the African Development Bank, in Africa, we have approximately 420 million youths within the range of 15 to 35 years. By implication, the total number of youths in Africa is almost half of Nigerian population. Out of these 420 million people in Africa, youth in Africa that are in Africa, 420, one half of this population unemployed. So one half of 420 is around 140 million people. By implication, around 140 million youth in Africa are unemployed. And also one third of that underemployed. So by implication, you have another 140 million in Africa that are underemployed. Only 1/6 of 420 million in Africa that are fully employed. So 1/6 is only 70 million African youth that are 100% employed. And that is why the situation of unemployment in Africa is worrisome. And you will discover that among the 10 countries in the whole world that are having challenges with unemployment and unemployability, 7-8 of them are in Africa. And this is a continent that we have only 54 countries. As at last year and early this year, the country that has the highest percentage of unemployment is South Africa, with an unemployment rate of around 33.56% to around 34%. Then countries like Burundi and others, they are within that. In Nigeria also, if you look at the recent report released by the National Bureau of Statistics, in 2022, they released the figures of our unemployment. Within the age bracket, within the youth category, the unemployment rate according to them is around 42.5%. But this is only within the age bracket of youth. However, I strongly disagree with the percentage that it could be relatively lower than that. Why? Because usually most of our jobs in Nigeria are informal jobs. And informal jobs are absolutely difficult to be captured when collecting data. Most of them are informal. That is why you see in Nigeria, federal and state level, institutions are struggling on how to collect tax. Why? Because the sector is largely an informal sector. So it becomes difficult. However, no matter what happens, there is no doubt we have a strong and major challenge of unemployment and also unemployability in Nigeria. While the general unemployment, according to National Bureau of Statistics 2022 report, is around 33.3%. That is the general. While youth unemployment is the first one I mentioned, which is around 42.5%. So meaning the general unemployment is relatively lower than youth unemployment. And we need to ask ourselves why this youth category is having the major challenge of unemployment in Nigeria and also unemployability. Because most of the people struggling to get jobs, some of them are graduates of universities, polytechnics, and the colleges of education. Some after their graduation, they spend 5 years moving about with their CV seeking for jobs. And this is why it becomes necessary to review the situation and see what we can do. And the solution to this situation is innovation and entrepreneurship. This is what other developed and developing countries have employed in order to address the challenge of unemployment and unemployability. Except there are a few countries that are blessed with abundant natural resources, with a very small population, like Qatar, where World Cup is taking place. Most probably, even today, there will be a match with, I think, Argentina and another country. Qatar is the country that has the lowest percentage of unemployment globally. As an early 2022, their unemployment rate is only 0.3%. Only 0.3%. And the same, surprisingly, Niger Republic, that is our neighbor, is among the countries with the lowest percentage of unemployment globally. Why? because based on their output, they are able to capture formal and informal jobs. And that is why the unemployment rate in Niger is very low. And it could be the lowest in Africa, 54 countries. Why? Because through farming and others, they are able to produce many entrepreneurs. So the challenge of unemployment in Nigeria and also unemployability, both of them can effectively be addressed by innovation and entrepreneurship, particularly the digital innovation and the digital entrepreneurship. Let us take two case studies. 40 years ago, China was nothing. But today, China has the second largest economy. The worst GDP reported for China is 14.14%. But the most reliable, the GDP of China today is around 19.9%. And this is a country that was struggling 40 years ago. How did they change this? According to the United Nations and the World Economic Forum, what China did is prioritizing innovation, what they call embracing innovation. Embracing innovation. Through embracing innovation, in China, they were able to lift out 191 million people from poverty and provided jobs for them in the year 2018. 191 million. Through what? Through embracing innovation. This is what they did. Our major challenge in Nigeria is we prioritize certificates so much to the extent that like we worship certificates. Degree, MSc, PhD. I am an academic campus apology scholar. My citation was recited here. I have many certificates. With the all sense of divinity, I have BTech, MSc, MBA, PhD. With so many certificates from the best universities globally. Harvard University, Oxford, Cambridge, MIT, IMD, for example. I have many certificates. So I'm not in any way underrating or undermining certificates. But what I'm emphasizing, certificates that are empty. Certificates with graduates that do not have any skill to offer, and they don't have any expertise to take up any opportunity, then the aim of acquiring it has been defeated. When we attend any institution, our priority should not just be the certificate, but the training and the skills we obtain while studying. That should be our priority. But today, we focus more on certificates to the extent that certificates can support you to get a job, but you cannot be able to grow up easily as long as you do not have skills. In the developed and developing countries, they prioritize skills with or without certificates. Today in the US, priority and preference is given to your skills rather than your certificate. Based on an executive order signed by the then President Donald Trump in June 2020. He signed an executive order directing the biggest employer in the US, that is the US government, to prioritize skills while recruiting citizens. But there is no harm in acquiring certificate, but that certificate must be overloaded with skills. But today, the focus and the priority of our youth is towards the class of degree. First class, second class over, or second class over. That is where the debate is. And you will discover that the practical courses have very few units. 1 unit is a practical course, 2 units sometimes practical course. Theoretical courses, some of them up to 4 credit units. And a student has been watched to graduate with first class or second class. So he will prioritize courses with higher units over and above courses with lower units. While the skills and the practice could be in the lower courses unit. In the US again, through digital innovation and entrepreneurship, the two components of digital economy, in 2017, government was able to provide jobs for 5.1 million people. This is only in 2017 through digital economy sector. And even in the US, you discover that the growth rate of digital economy with the two components of digital innovation and entrepreneurship, both of them are growing higher than the traditional or the general GDP. From 2006 to 2016, 10 years, the growth rate of GDP in the US was averagely 1.5%. But the digital economy sector was growing by 5.6%. By implication, you discover the growth rate of digital economy was 4% higher than that of the general economy, which is 1.5%. This is to show to us that the whole world today, firstly, is not about only certificates, but certificates that are overloaded with skills. Alternatively, skills even without certificates. Because global tech giants are willing to employ you as long as you can deliver the job even if you don't have any certificate. Microsoft, the president of the Microsoft Blacksmith, recently wrote a foreword to my book. The book entitled Skills Rather Than Just Degrees, which has been unveiled by the Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, who is just arriving, Professor Ondo State. In that skills book, he emphasized that not only in Nigeria or Africa, in so many countries there is a challenge of mismatch between what potential employees have to offer and what employers are looking for. There is a huge gap. There is a mismatch. And that mismatch, he said, is global, not only in Africa. But however, he said in Africa is more worrisome. Why? Because we have more potential than other continents of the world. Firstly, we have the highest number of countries, 54 countries. No continent has 54 countries. Two, our average age in Africa is really encouraging. In Nigeria, our average age is 18.3 years old. So we have the youngest population. And thirdly, our accent is understandable. Africans can learn English and speak, they can learn French and speak, they can learn German and speak. Because of their accent is easily understood. Number four, usually we are not too greedy when it comes to opportunities in Africa. Because of this, Africans are easier to be employed than people from America, Europe, and other Asian countries. So these are some of the benefits. And we have so many opportunities in Africa that are untapped. It is because of this he encourages that if Africa can leverage on skills, they will be able to be among the most successful continents globally. Because most of the parameters are in our favor, and there is no doubt about it. Furthermore, also, another point that is also very important is the fact that if you look at it today, historically, Africa was not significantly part of first industrial revolution, except few African countries, not Africa, like maybe Morocco and Egypt. They achieved a lot even prior to first industrial revolution. First industrial revolution was largely in the United Kingdom, with the invention of steam power. While the second industrial revolution was largely in the UK. However, other countries were not far from the UK, like Germany, France, Belgium, and the US. They were all chess group. They were chasing the United Kingdom, trying to be part and parcel of the second industrial revolution, which was largely focusing more on electricity, mass production, and manufacturing. Africa was not part of the second industrial revolution. Third industrial revolution that was largely within the information and communications technology with the invention of World Wide Web internet, which brought about globalization, and many more. Africa was not part of it. Today, we are into a fourth industrial revolution. In the last 22 years, most probably we are into the fourth industrial revolution. The fourth industrial revolution is all about digitalization. It's the fusion of physical, biological, and virtual world together. This is what brought about the fourth industrial revolution. So the whole fourth industrial revolution is coming up with so many challenges and opportunities that are enormous. Look at artificial intelligence today, the opportunities out there. But still, there are some African countries that are doing well. Nigeria is one of them. Kenya is one of them. Egypt is also one of them. They are doing well, but still we need to improve. When it comes to digital innovation, there is need for us to improve. In the third industrial revolution, besides the US and some European countries, there were few new entries like Japan and Australia. In the fourth industrial revolution, many African countries are not far from the developed countries. In addition, there are many entries like China is a new entry. They were not part of first, second, and third industrial revolution. They only woke up in the fourth industrial revolution, and by all definition, they are in the forefront. It's about artificial intelligence and many more. Today, because of digital innovation, there are many things that you don't need to travel to do them. Digital innovation brings about even virtual holiday. Without traveling physically from Owo or Akure, you can encourage your family to save your money and travel virtually for your holiday. With 5G, augmented reality, virtual reality, and other digital innovations, you can sit with your family. She can visit many shops in London, in Dubai. You can take her to New York and Washington. So you travel virtually for your holiday. With digital innovation today as part of the fourth industrial revolution, surgery is being conducted virtually. Only last year was there about a surgery was conducted between the doctor and the surgeon, and the patient is around 3,000 kilometers treating Parkinson's. Look at the opportunities in the digital innovation. Surgery can be conducted today virtually. When it comes to even agriculture, digital innovation provides many opportunities on how to enhance our productivity in agriculture. For example, look at this country, the Netherlands. The Netherlands, the landmass of the Netherlands is just around 40 to 41 square kilometers. So there are 6 states in Nigeria, each one is bigger than the Netherlands. Niger, Borno, Taraba, Kaduna, Bauchi, and Yobe. Each one of them, when it comes to that mass, is bigger than the Netherlands. And the population of the Netherlands is averaging within the range of that of either Lagos or Kano. But the Netherlands is the second largest exporter of agri-produce globally. Second to the US, while the US is around 270 times larger than the Netherlands. Through what? Through the deployment of digital innovation. They introduce what they call vertical agriculture and also soilless farming. I am currently working on my draft book entitled Digital Agriculture, a Panacea for Global Food Crisis and Cybercrime. If you go through, you will discover that the Netherlands employed digital innovation to enhance the capacity of their agriculture to the extent that in certain forms of farming, even soil is not required. It's called soilless farming. And they reduce the consumption of water by more than 90%. This is how they make use of digital innovation. And there are so many opportunities there. When it comes to education, there are so many opportunities in the digital economy sector, particularly through digital innovation and digital entrepreneurship. The same in the medical. There are so many opportunities there. And it is digital innovation that brought about today the top technology companies globally. In 2008, just how many years ago? 14 years ago. If you look at the top 10 most valuable companies globally, only one was a digital innovation company. It was Microsoft. But today, if you look at the top 10 most valuable companies today, 7 to 8 of them are from digital innovation globally. And the top 5, there is no doubt they are all from digital innovation. The only one among them is Saudi Arabia. Number 1 is Apple, number 2 Microsoft, number 3 is Amazon, number 4 is Facebook, number 5 is Alphabet, the mother company of the parent company of Google. So all the top 5 you discover they are part and parcel of digital innovation. And if you go through the history, how they initiated is really mind-boggling. Jeffrey Bezos, when he started working on the start of that is Amazon, from 1994 to 2004, he couldn't make a profit of $1, but he resisted. Because digital entrepreneurship requires perseverance. That is why he was asked, what is the gap between successful entrepreneurs and unsuccessful entrepreneurs? He said the only gap between them is pure perseverance. You have to insist, continue working on that. It is not easy, but you have to persevere. You cannot start today and start making profit today. Sometimes it requires you to work for 10 years before you start making profit. That is why if you are working on any digital innovative idea or digital entrepreneurship, you have to consider failure as part of your success, not opposite of success. I have mentioned this yesterday in Ondo University. Accommodating success is very important. And success should not be considered as an opposite of failure. And failure should not be considered as an opposite of success. But rather, failure is the foundation of success. Silicon Valley could be considered as the best example of the successful story of digital innovation and digital entrepreneurship. The name Silicon Valley was coined in the 70s by John Hoffler, Silicon Valley. They established a place where government, academia, and private sector support each other to come up with innovative ideas. And these innovative ideas are being implemented. And finally, many entrepreneurs come out of this. In Silicon Valley, they have what they call Silicon Valley mantra. They say, fail fast, fail often. That is their mantra. When you go, the first thing to learn is how to accommodate failure. And it is the same way that the government of the United Arab Emirates followed to build their country. That more than 90% of our people are interested in visiting them. Why? Because they learn how to accommodate failure and make themselves more stronger. That is why you see like Silicon Valley and UAE, they organize what they call FailCon. This is an acronym of Failure Conference, meaning that you should be taught how to accommodate failure. Because you cannot come up with an innovative idea just after a year. You become a billionaire or a billionaire. It's not possible. You have to continue to invest, to suffer before some years you could become very successful in that. But what you need to do is pure perseverance. It's not what you can attain within a day or a week or a year. You have to persevere, to be steadfast, to be patient in whatever you do. Through this, you will be able to attain success. And this is indeed very important. When it comes to digital entrepreneurship, as I earlier mentioned, they are interwoven, and also a solution to unemployment and also unemployability. This is the important point, unemployability. All over the world, there is a challenge of unemployability, mismatch between what employers are looking for and what a potential employer wants to offer. There is a very serious mismatch. I will give an example. Today, in the area of cybersecurity, according to ISC, in the field of cybersecurity today, we are in need of 8.1 million world-class professionals. What we have today is only 4.7. There is a vacancy that can accommodate 3.4 million people globally, not basic or intermediate advanced level. And these opportunities have been in place in the last 10 years. Why people are looking for a job and still there are opportunities is the challenge of mismatch. And that is what we need to address. The requirements for job opportunities are changing day in, day out. We must, even at personal level and at official level, prioritize soft skills where we teach our younger ones, our students, how to address complex problems, what is called complex problem solving. We need to teach them critical thinking. We need to provide some hours for free for our students and others to go and think deeply and identify a challenge so that they can offer a solution where we can come together and work on this challenge and find a solution to it. This is very important. And through this approach, Gmail account emerged in the world. Google encouraged its employees to always take some hours to think deeply, identify challenges and come up with a solution. One of their employees came up with Gmail account. Today, we have over 4 billion Gmail accounts and subscribers globally through only critical thinking of an employee during free time. Today, because of critical thinking, identifying the challenge of providing a solution is more difficult than providing a solution that we are enjoying through Uber. To identify the challenge is easier than developing a system that will establish connection and interconnection between taxi drivers and passengers. Amazon is the same. What Jeffrey Bezos did, identifying that complex problem is more difficult than developing a system that will lead potential buyers on one hand and potential sellers on the other. That identification of the challenge is more difficult. So that is why we need to encourage students to partake in critical thinking so much and not to prioritize the certificate we have to give them. Let them prioritize the skills we provide and let them prioritize being entrepreneurs rather than being potential employees in the future. And this is indeed very important. In Nigeria, as I earlier mentioned, we have so many initiatives at the federal level to provide an avenue for our citizens to become digital innovators and digital entrepreneurs. For example, in Nigeria, we have developed the Nigeria Startup Act 2022. We initiated the idea at the federal level. And I presented the bill before the Federal Executive Council on the 15th of December 2021, and His Excellency Mr. President Muhammad Buhari directed me to liaise with the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice to transmit the bill to the National Assembly. We did so. By 19th of October 2022, I was by the right hand side of Mr. President, and Chief of Staff Professor Gambari was at the left side, where the President assented to Nigeria's Startup Act 2022 to become a law of our country. I believe with me, besides our Constitution, since 1960 today, Nigeria's Startup Act 2022 is the most important important, agreed piece of legislation. Other bills are largely promoting resource-based economy, but Nigeria's kind of act is about knowledge-based economy. And today the whole world is about knowledge-based economy rather than resource-based economy. Other countries are leveraging on their resources today in order to build their knowledge-based economy. So Nigeria's kind of act is about that. And in that bill, in that law, a council has been established, and the name of the council is National Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship Council. Look at it. The two key words are council, and the council is going to be chaired by the President of Nigeria and to be supported by the Vice President. When both of them are absent, the minister in charge of digital economy will be the presiding chairman. This is the foundation. When we developed the bill and transmitted, the email I received from Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the US was requesting me if I can allow them to organize a public lecture where it will be open for all to inform them about the process we have followed to develop this bill. The best university in the UK was sending an email to me requesting me to make a presentation before them so that they will be able to learn from it and also to learn whether my position as the champion of MIT RIM has played any role in enacting the bill or not. It was a bill at that time. Even today, we receive a report of PwC commending the effort of Nigeria by coming up with Nigeria's Startup Act 2022, saying that this is a legislation that will lift out of our citizens out of poverty. On Tuesday, I was in the council chamber with Mr. President. Professor Gambari was repeating of staff saying that all other countries are bombarding us with requests on to share our experience and the way and manner we have enacted Nigeria's Startup Act. And prior to that, I also received a request from Algeria. Currently, I sent an officer to represent me to have a meeting with the Algerian government to educate them about that. A week ago, I was in Egypt. The minister in charge of ICT was pleading with me to share our law, Nigeria's Startup Act, with them so that they will be able to learn from it. In addition to so many countries, it is because of this, with all sense of humility, I am proud of being part and parcel of the stakeholders that develop this law. And today we have it. The DG leader is to serve as the secretary of the council. And we are in the process of establishing a world-class National Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center. The Federal Executive Council has approved my memo of establishing the center where we intend to spend around 12 billion naira so that our youth are going to be trained. Only last year, we established the first National Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics. After our establishment, around 45 African countries copied our model, and now they have their own center as well. The center is for our citizens to leverage on the facilities we deploy to become digital entrepreneurs, so that from Nigeria or even from Achievers University, we could have another Jeffrey Bezos or Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg or Jack in any other person. And it is indeed very important. Let us not be lazy. Let us be consistent. And let us persevere. The opportunities are there. And we have a legislation in place. And I do hope that we can leverage on that so that in the next few years we will have top-class innovators in Nigeria that will compete with any company globally. The opportunities in digital economy are many. Today in the world, we have around 2,005 unicorns according to CB Insights. Unicorn is a company, startup company, that has an evaluation of around 1 billion USD, a minimum of 1 billion USD. The countries that are leading in that area are the US, China, then India. In Africa, Nigeria is leading. Out of something unicorns in Africa, 4 to 5 of them originated from Nigeria, meaning that their background is Nigeria. So by implication, we are leading. And 4 out of 5 reached the position of unicorn in the last 2 to 3 years. This is indeed really encouraging. With all the challenges we have in Nigeria, we have good news that we are proud of ourselves and we are leading others in Africa. Let us continue to compete with the European and the developed countries in the next few years. I have no doubt our citizens can do that, and government is willing to support them. Thank you very much for that.
Mr. Isando, applause for our guest lecturer. I can see you standing to your feet to acknowledge this insight mind-blowing lecture. Thank you very much.
It is a rare privilege, sirs, to listen to Professor Pantami. I'm glad that he has promised us that he will be a citizen of Achievers University. That's to say that we'll be seeing more of you, and we're looking forward to seeing you in our classroom coming to teach technology and security studies, but we have the partner. Having said that, sir, I can see too that you presented your lecture. How many pages are in those lectures? Because you didn't communication of the back, and you went all up on the issue that you are covering. That is quite instructive. Having said that, I'd like to ask, sir, that Nigeria has captured a lot of data, and we have a data bank, we have a database. But unfortunately, we have not been able through our BPN, phone network, biometrics, promoters registration, social demographic indicators, among others. We have all this. Yet we have not been able to plug the gap between artificial intelligence incubation and the executive mindset that we have in Nigeria, where we believe that government must provide everything, situation will take care of themselves. We refuse to take ourselves by ourselves. And this has been our own conclusion. Kindly engage us on how we can proceed to bridge the gap between employability and unemployability.
Honorable Minister, I cannot hide how impressed I am by your brilliance and the richness of the knowledge you have displayed here today. I am very impressed, and I want to congratulate you particularly. I also decided not to put anything down in asking you questions. I hope I will succeed. I won't have fumbled along the way. But let me go about it this way. I think what Trinity University, if you can still recall, sir, yes, what digital innovation and entrepreneurship are well known. And if you didn't know it, by the time anybody sat under you this afternoon, you will know how important they are. But I'd like to plead that we move the narrative a bit forward. Not on what it is, but how we can get innovation and entrepreneurship. Because if you don't know the how, then the what will be elusive. And I think in subsequent discussion, the discussion should move beyond what it is, because I think almost everybody now knows how important innovation and entrepreneurship is. But that will not make us innovative, and it will not make us entrepreneurs if we do not know how to reach people to be innovative. And I'd like to say, without any apologies, that our youths are very innovative. If you see what they are doing in arts, music, in technology, you know that we are gifted. Our problem is not having sufficient support for them. I know that to grow a child with critical thinking goes beyond the classroom. It has is rooted in culture of how you bring up children. But then, there's nothing we can do about that. But I'd like to say that to make our youth innovative, we need to do something about our curriculum. That's number one. And I'm happy. Our vice chancellor just told me that NUC has just released a new set of curriculum. And I believe that they must have addressed some of these challenges. But beyond that, who are the people who will deliver the curriculum? They are the people of the old school. You need to retrain the teachers who will teach the students. And we have to give them an opportunity. In our own university, if you want to come and lecture, we have to practically take many of the visiting lecturers through how to use digital boards, smart boards. You have to train them. But you can't blame them. They have the content. But because they have not been exposed to the digital space and knowledge, there's nothing they can do about that. So we need to look at the workforce, bringing up these kids and retrain them so that they can pass on the critical thinking skill to our kids. What you don't have, you can't give. Secondly, I'd like to say this, that government should try and support the private universities. And by this, I'm not being selfish as a proprietor of a university. No, I'm not being selfish. But I tell you that if you do anything for private university, you are not doing it for the owner, you are doing it for the children and the students. Because they are going to go out there and contribute to this economy. There is no special economy for graduates of public university and graduates of private university. And so, Honorable Minister, I'd like to say this, that I had a little discussion with you, and I know that your disposition to supporting university is already there, because I had a discussion with you, and I know you are willing and ready. We should extend our support, technology hubs, and some of these innovative centers. Let it go beyond the public universities. Let it go to the private universities, because in this university now, maybe you are talking about 5,000 students. Where are they going to go? They can move and shape the economy of Nigeria if you give them the right tools. And so we should begin to look at the private university beyond the ownership. Let us look at the people they are training. We're all training for the same economy. And the idea we recognize that if you exclude them from exposing and from critical exposure, you are only undermining the economy of Nigeria. And so I'd like to say that going forward, how should be more emphasized than what? And I'd like to stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that beautiful contribution by Dr. Wilson. The next person is Mr. Latif Fagbemi, SAN. Question.
What may I put something stand on the existing protocol? It would be an understatement to say that we have really enjoyed the exposition by the Honorable Minister, and I would say congratulations once again on all your achievements. Mine is not about questions, it's about observation and suggestion. And I start from this. When you attend a marriage ceremony, no matter what advice you give to the couple, you see them chatting. The advice I normally give is, let's say whatever we want to say. After the ceremony, let the couple go back home and watch the video. Your lecture will be very, very meaningful, and this is where I throw a challenge to the authorities of the university. that we get the email addresses of the students. Let them have a way of transcribing or transmitting these lectures to them, because I know that there is no way we will not make reference to this. And more importantly, that the fact that even if you look at the population of this world, forgive me, gentlemen, this side of the divide, we are almost quarter to. I'm so sorry, but that is the truth. Those who need this most, not that we don't need it, everybody needs it, but in terms of priority or ratio, I would say it's ratio 8 or 2 to 8. That's why I am suggesting that they will take it into serious recording. But take over is from your lecture that the dividing line, the line between success and failure is very thin, and it is just that extra effort, that extra push. You also need to persevere. In fact, perseverance is very, very key, not only in employment or unemployment. I'll just give one example. The man sitting to the extreme left, that is Honorable Justice Issa Alli Ibrahim. Very simple. But he has gone through a lot. In spite of that, he never compromised integrity any day. For almost 3 years, the then government fought him just because he will not, do anti-justice. Rather, he stood for justice. From there, he got retired, but come and see how people have been celebrating him since then. That is Issa Alli Ibrahim, the past president of the Court of Appeal. So, we need to persevere. There are certain things you say no to, no matter how alluring. And I believe that if it were the issue of, alluring, the enticement, Honorable Minister, you would not be here. I trust places like America, they would have seen it. They would have given, and I know they would have attempted it. You won't take it. So, gentlemen, we need to also patronize our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for that really beautiful contribution.
I appreciate the kind words from the three contributors, and I'm really humbled. Starting with Mr. Fayeye and Professor Fayeye on the issue of unemployability and also employability, particularly with the huge quantity of data we have. This is a highly technical question, because digital innovation and digital entrepreneurship leverage on data to make sense out of it. Most of the innovative solutions we have are product of data collection and data analysis. And they also need data to function. And if you look at it of recent, you will discover that the quantity of data being generated is mind-boggling. According to Google, from the dawn of civilization to early 2000, the quantity of data generated globally was approximately 5 exabytes. But today, within 24 hours, 2.5 exabytes is being generated. By implication, the quantity of data being generated within 48 hours today can be equated to the quantity of data generated 5,000 years ago up to 2001. And this data that is being generated, many institutions and developed countries are making use of it to dominate the world. And this is one of the approaches being deployed by the US, China, and Germany, and they are the top leading countries economically today. Furthermore, with artificial intelligence, particularly the Internet of Things that we have at our disposal today, By 2025, according to the International Data Corporation (IDC), by 2025, the quantity of data to be generated could approximately be 46 billion exabytes, 46 billion zettabytes. Because of what? Because of IoT devices. So what I want to say, what is the challenge today between employability and unemployability? I think the answer is very simple. Firstly, we have to identify what are the reasons for unemployment and unemployability. When you identify the reasons and address them, that is automatically the solution. And that is what we provide your citizens to become employable and at the same time to have employability. The major reasons all over the world, and particularly in Africa, the number one obstacle is our population growth. Population growth, if our population is productive, that population growth is commendable and important. But if our population growth is dominated by unproductive population, then this is another economic catastrophe. Today in Nigeria, our population growth is higher than our economic growth. For example, if you look at it, throughout the history of mankind, based on available literature and documented evidence, throughout the inception of mankind on this cosmos, the population of the world did not reach 1 billion people till around 1805. By implication, only 217 years ago that the world population reached 1 billion. And it took the world another 123 years till around 1928, 1927-1928 for the world population to reach 2 billion people. And it was by 1960 the world population reached 3 billion. But today, as of 15 November 2022, just last month, according to the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, the world population reached 8 billion. From 1960 to 2022, we increased world population by 5 billion. And it took the whole of human history to reach 1 billion only in 1805, only 17 years ago. So population growth is one. If care is not taken, population growth will not allow us to appreciate our debt. For example, in Nigeria, by 1960, when our country got its independence, the whole population of Nigeria was around 45.1 million people. From 1960 to date, 62 years, the population increased to around 220 billion. From 270 to 20 billion within that range. And we are the 6th most populous countries in the world. And if we fail to manage our population, even in terms of productivity, in the next 10 to 15 years, we could be the 4th most populous country. By 2050, according to the World Bank, we could be the 2nd or the 3rd most populous country in the world. So if our